All right, so uh, even if you're just a casual rugby fan,
Yeah.
I think we all know the legacy of the All Blacks, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, and I don't think I'm alone here.
Mm-hmm.
Lately,
Mm.
they haven't had that like same untouchable aura about them.
Yeah,
That World Cup final loss to the Springboks definitely stung a bit.
it did.
Everyone's kind of wondering what's next
Oh,
for them,
yeah.
especially now with new coach Scott Robertson coming in.
Right. Big expectations there.
And that's actually kind of what we're diving into today.
Okay.
This article by Colin Newbold that suggests
Mm.
Robertson just might be the key to getting them back on top.
Well, let's hear it. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, yeah. So
What's he saying?
one of the things that really jumped out at me right away
Yeah.
was this quote from former Wallabies player Morgan Turinui.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he seems really worried about the All Blacks making a resurgence under Robertson.
Interesting. It's one thing for pundits and fans to speculate, but to hear that from a former Wallaby, I mean, that speaks volumes. Like you said, there's that rivalry there, so you expect some banter.
Yeah.
But to express genuine concern, that's really saying something.
I mean, rivals are always going to talk a bit of smack,
Of course.
but his just felt, I don't know, different.
I know what you mean. There's like a respect there. Almost like
Yeah, like grudging respect.
he sees something brewing that he's not exactly thrilled about, but he can't ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
What I find particularly interesting is that Turinui specifically calls out the potential of this new generation of All Blacks.
Right. He really seems to think they're perfect for Robertson's coaching style.
Exactly. He's known for this, what do they call it, tip-on passing.
Mm-hmm.
Very fast-paced, offloading, focused game.
Yeah, totally different from the kind of players we saw dominate under Hansen, right?
Yeah, totally. Like you said, these aren't those grizzled veterans who've seen it all and won it all.
Right.
These are young guys, probably not even born when the All Blacks lost back-to-back games.
Right.
Think about that. Fast, hungry, a point to prove. It's a potent mix.
Yeah, it's like they're tailor-made for this kind of explosive rugby Robertson's known for.
Precisely. And the article really gets into the specifics of his approach.
Oh, yeah, it does. It talks about how he uses the width of the field
Oh, yeah.
to attack and just completely overwhelm defenses.
It's like a direct counter to that suffocating rush defense that teams like the Springboks have perfected.
Yeah, it's almost like he's trying to reinvent the way the All Blacks play the game.
And he has to. I mean, look, let's not kid ourselves. The Springboks are the reigning world champs for a reason.
Right.
What they do, it works. It's incredibly effective.
But this article makes it sound like Robertson's already thinking a step ahead.
Yeah.
Like he's got counters to the counters ready to go.
Right. And it seems like he's putting a big emphasis on disciplined counterattacking.
Yeah, I was going to say, the article mentions turning defense into attack.
Yeah. And that plays right into the All Blacks' strengths, right? Their athleticism and fitness. Robertson wants to make them a team that punishes you for every little mistake,
Yeah, I love that. It's so proactive.
It is. It's like a statement. You want to slow the game down? Fine, we'll turn your defense into our offense.
Exactly. It's not just about scoring more points. It's about controlling the entire flow of the game.
Right, and that's something the All Blacks have always been known for.
Yeah.
Dictating the pace, setting the terms of engagement. And I think that's what Turinui really admires about Robertson, He's sticking to his guns. He's not trying to copy the Springboks or the French.
Right.
He's building a distinct All Black style for this new era.
Yeah, I mean, there's that saying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery or whatever.
Right.
But in a field as competitive as rugby,
yeah,
you can't just copy your way to the top.
You absolutely can't. You need that
You have to do something different.
that X factor, that unique element that sets you apart.
Yeah, that's what makes this whole thing so exciting.
And that's what Robertson's doing. He's not afraid to take risks. And that's what's got people like Turinui worried, I think.
He's basically saying, watch out, world.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got the All Blacks, a new coach with a bold vision, a generation of young players eager to prove themselves.
Yeah, and rivals on high alert. Like Turinui sending up a bat signal, beware the All Blacks, they're back.
Yeah, almost.
But we do have to remember that rugby is a pretty cutthroat world out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, South Africa, Ireland, France, those aren't easy teams to beat.
No, not at all.
The article is pretty optimistic about Robertson's chances.
It is.
But I'm curious, what do you think? What are some potential challenges the All Blacks might face? What could throw a wrench in their plans?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is going to be consistency. Robertson's approach is exciting, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's also high risk.
Yeah.
If they can't maintain discipline and execute with precision, that attacking flair could backfire pretty spectacularly.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fine line, right, between creative freedom
Right.
and structured execution.
Yeah, that's the balance they need to find.
Because if they get too loose, it'll just be chaos.
Exactly.
But if they're too rigid, they'll lose that spark.
Exactly. They need to be adaptable, too. What works against one team might not work against another.
So really, it all comes down to this, right?
Mhm.
Can Robertson and this young team adapt and evolve quickly enough to stay ahead of the curve? Can they peak at the right time, like Turinui's worried about?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it makes you think, you know? It's not just about rugby.
It's about life, right? What does it take to stay ahead in any Y? Can you just coast on one great innovation? Or do you have to constantly be pushing the boundaries, thinking differently?
Adapting to the changing landscape.
Exactly. Lots to think about as we watch this All Blacks journey unfold.
For sure, for sure.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
See you next time.
Sounds good.